storages. We're talking about different kinds of storage. How many kinds of storages do you know? We have instance store, which is resident within. Now let me share this. All right, so can you see my note?
Yes.
All right, so cloud storages. Let's talk about that. So you know what instance store is? All right, so you know what instance store is? You know what EBS is? Network attached storage. All right, on top of those two, we have another kind of storage that is EFS. EFS is a storage that will span across multiple availability zones. All right, multiple availability zones. All right, let's see if we can draw that, present that in drawing. All right, so we're saying that there's a kind of storage we have one EC2, we have another EC2, we have another EC2. There's a kind of storage that is, no, let me delete all this. We have one EC2, we have another EC2, we have another EC2. All right, so we're saying that the storages that come with EC2, also called ephemeral storage, they are the instance store. All right, so anytime you are creating EC2, that 8 gig that they talk about that they are sent to you is the instance store. And then we're saying aside the instance store, you can also have another kind of storage that they can share. You can have this kind of storage where this EC2, this EC2, and this EC2 can all connect and share this storage. This kind of storage is called EBS. All right?
We've done this.
Yeah, we've done this. Okay. All right. So it's just revision. And then on top of this one, and there's another kind of storage that will allow you to have EC2s in a different availability zone. All right? Oh, no. One availability zone, another availability zone. Now sharing a single storage from here and from here. So this one is a bigger storage than this one. This one is a bigger storage than this one. This kind of storage is called EFS. EFS. All right? But even though these different availability zones, they are still within the same region. What about one region and another region? I mean, once you can share between one region and another, that's actually universal, that's global. So the biggest kind of storage is available that can be shared globally, universally, between one region and other regions of AWS is called S3. And that's what we'll look at. S3. There are different levels of storage. The biggest is S3. All right? And then, apart from S3, which we are going to look at in details, we also have another kind of storage. Relational databases. It's a form of storage as well. RDS is a form of storage. Relational database for the stored databases. The another kind of storage would be, what if you need to physically move data from your on-premise to cloud, and the internet connection available to connect your on-premise to cloud so that you can move like 5 terabytes of data is such that it's going to take you 3 months to transfer all your data. So what you want to do is ask for a flash drive from Amazon. Ask for a device from Amazon. It's not called Trider. It's actually called Snowball. And then you can now transfer your data from your on-premise into that drive. That drive is called Snowball, right? And then you can now transport this Snowball to AWS, and AWS will help you offload the content of the Snowball into your S3 bucket in cloud, right? So this Snowball is another form of, let me share my notes so that I can see the spelling of Snowball. All right, so Snowball is a form of storage. Snowball, physical movement of data. Sometimes the Snowball is as simple as a system unit. You know what I mean by system unit? Your computer, not the screen and the keyboard, the box. All right. So you make the request to say, Amazon, send me a Snowball. So you come here and say Snowball. Amazon, AWS, Snow family. Right. So you make the request from here because you already have an account. And you say, Amazon, send me a Snowball, order an AWS Snowball family drive. And then they will send it to you based on what you fill here. And then you can now use it, put your data inside, and it will be transported to Amazon, to AWS. Right? This is an example of Snowball. All right? Good. And then within Snowball, it's a family. There's the small Snowball that looks like a system. There's the bigger one that has higher capacity than that one and can take much more than this one can take. In fact, there is a lorry, a whole truck, like a mobile data center, and they can send it to you. Big truck. And then you use, if what you are sending, maybe you want to send the whole database of Nigeria, for example, to cloud. For how many system units are they going to send to you to do that? So they send you a whole truck, but instead of the truck carrying physical, instead of it carrying physical materials, actually carrying data. So the data center and that supports the capacity of data I can carry, they are already fixed there. Probably send 1 or 2 experts to help you connect the pipe of that truck to your own data center and copy everything and then move it to cloud. All right. You can take a closer look, can Google Snowball and see the picture of all of these things. So that is the highest level. So support, definitely will support petabytes of data compared to the gig that the other wants to support. All right. So these are the different kinds of storages that Amazon wants you to do, AWS wants you to do. All right. Then we're talking about this in details. There's a file system. This is actually more of a file system, and it comes out a lot in exam. FSX. Anytime we're talking about dealing with multiple operating systems, especially where Windows is involved, these operating systems here will not understand Windows. Okay, that's what I mean. Let me tell you. If we're talking about storages between one EC2 and another EC2, all right, both running Linux, there's no problem. But when there is another EC2 running Windows, then there has to be a file system that is compatible with both Linux systems here and then Windows here. If it was just these Linux systems, there's no problem. Everything we've talked about so far, we support it. But once there's Windows involved, when this is Windows, then only a file system called FSX, SFX, where is it? Oh, okay, FSX will support it. So the exam question will be around, I'm trying to move system from one server to another to cloud, but once they mention that part of the system runs Windows operating system, then you know that you need a file system that supports this one as well as Windows operating system. That file system is FS. It's a file system that supports both Linux and Windows. Exactly. The storage is not too different from EFS, but the difference is that you have to have this operating system running in it to support Windows. All right, so that's about storages. Any question on storages?
No.
Any question on the different kinds of storages? All right, no questions.
Excuse me, sir. You didn't talk about Glacier.
Yeah, we'll talk about it under S3.
Okay.
It's part of S3. All right, then SDKs. Have we talked about SDKs? So we just use today to talk about these little things. We don't really have to do any topic. All right, let's talk about SDKs. SDK simply means software development kits. It's the name that AWS calls the different platform for developing applications. All right, so developers can write codes here. I'm beginning to learn Python gradually, little by little. So I already have Python is not really difficult. You know, one time or the other, we have all done coding. Well, maybe not all of us, depending on your background. Well, I've really done coding here and there, just that I didn't really take it up as a real subject I want to focus on. So right from university days up to coding. So I'm just trying to put the bits and pieces together now to see if I can begin to write tiny codes to support my automation in cloud. All right. So that kind of subject area will fall under software development kits. So from the command line interface, you know what I mean by command line interface? For example, your Unix kind of, your Linux kind of interface. You can write codes there that will control what happens in AWS. You can spin up servers, spin off these things we are doing by going to AWS to use our mouse to click. We can actually also do them working from our SSH without necessarily going to AWS. So to do that, you need to learn one or two of these programming kits to be able to give your command from there to go and execute stuff in cloud.